Welcome to the E-Show with Neil Ravin. With over 1,000 NCAA commitments, the EHL is the proven path to college. Turn it up and learn more about the college placement leader at the Division II and III levels.
Welcome to the E-Show, presented by the Penalty Box Foundation. The Foundation's mission centers around their daily motto: we take care of our own, as they help out all of those within the hockey community who've experienced a catastrophic event. Learn more at penaltyboxfoundation.org. Once again, my name is Neil Ravin. This is episode number 37, and back with me for the first time in the fall, I guess we could say. Welcome back to E-Crew.
How are you doing?
Hockey
Neil. This
is
feels
back.
good. This feels
Hockey
good.
is back, right? Oh man, it feels so good. What's funny, Jeff, is you and I will be at opening day, and Brittany won't.
Okay. Well,
Brittany, where are you going to be? Are you still employed by the Avalanche? I thought you.
No, I'm not, because I have the full-time job I need to attend, so I'm not poor. So.
That's right. You're teaching kindergarten now, right? Do you want to tell the?
Yeah.
I just
hi,
learned that
everyone.
via text.
So if you guys want to learn how to remotely learn kindergarten, just let me know.
When
You're
did I have you
teaching
guys
youth.
on? I had you on middle of the summer, right?
Yeah, it was
we
about
did
a
it.
month
Yeah,
ago.
it was. No, was it before or after Denver? I'm pretty sure it was before.
Yeah, I think we did we wrapped up last season. We did a midsummer review, and now we have a season preview. So
It was right before it, too. I remember, Neil, because you had a lot of anxiety before getting on the plane.
Oh yeah, true.
Why
Meanwhile,
are you
I was
rolling
like,
your eyes?
dude, because I was like, dude, just put the hand sanitizer on, wipe the seat down, and shut it.
Wow.
That's all you need to do. Mask up. The end. That's it.
Wow.
That's all you
You know, Brett, there's a lot of compassion in Brittany's body. She's just like all about it.
right.
Suck it up, buttercup. That's her phrase, yeah.
It was more about the like you're in this object that's sealed shut, and there's this air that doesn't exit the object, so it's all just circulating around. And
Did we live?
He's here.
yeah, we lived.
Okay, so that's all. That's all. That's it.
I still haven't flown yet during this, so I don't know. I know a lot of people that have had the same anxiety that you had, Neil, about flying.
I've flown twice.
And how was your experience, Britt? Not bad.
Great.
Masked
will
up,
say-
sanitized up. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Right.
It was Southwest to Denver, and
No?
Southwest, yes,
Was it?
yeah, and
Oh
Southwest.
yeah,
was
because on my
incredibly
Insta
clean.
there was a picture. Oh yeah.
It was incredibly clean.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of a plug too for Colin Tracy's dad, who works for Southwest.
He
So,
does, Mike.
Yes.
Mike Tracy.
He wanted us to do like a league-wide type of sponsorship, and I was like, well, now that North Carolina's out, Mike, like no one really flies anywhere. Like,
It's all bus rides now, baby.
like,
Get in the bus.
I mean, I think Britt one year said like maybe we could just fly to Philly instead of
Oh
driving to
my
Philly.
gosh. No. I still stick by that. If we are going south of the George Washington Bridge, please just get me on the plane. Just get me on the plane. That's it.
The plane
I'm good.
goes up, Jeff, and by the time it hits that peak, it just goes right back down.
Yeah, it's a
Which
quickie.
is completely fine.
down.
It's fine.
But
Flight to Philly is 45 minutes.
Yes. It's exciting to be back on because it means the season is going to start. You know, we're 2 days away, recording this Wednesday night, dropping it on Thursday, dropping it for the first time with our new partnership. This will come out through the Junior Hockey Podcast first, and then through our podcast on two totally different feeds. And obviously the big hope behind that for us is that we're able to hit an audience that stretches over the entire country. Obviously, our current audience comes more from our name, Eastern. So Junior Hockey Podcast stretches the whole country. But I'm sure you guys saw I got to go on their podcast recently. It was one of those like interviews that like before I knew it, we were already at like an hour in. And I was like, wow, I guess I can talk a lot.
Jeez.
But
They
it's,
don't call them
listen
a
to
commish
some
for
of it.
nothing.
you listened to some of it?
Listen, again,
You got
I
bored?
don't know. No, I just don't think it's kindergarten appropriate.
Oh, I gotcha.
Right. So I just did the best I could.
So can you guess the one line that stirred the pot a little bit for me?
I don't know. Doesn't that guy work in the NA3?
No. I'm saying the
Oh.
line. This has nothing to do with the NA3.
Oh.
But at one point, we were talking about where we left off last year, and I said something to the effect of, if Chris had made it, the Avalanche had won their series, I probably wouldn't bet against that guy in Providence because he's already been there and won it twice.
Oh,
So
I did hear that
obviously,
part. I made it to that part, yeah.
there were a few people that were like, oh, yeah? What if we had made it? You think we wouldn't have beat Chris?
Let's say, I could get, if you give me 2 guesses of 2 coaches that probably text you right away. Was it Coach Mosso, Coach DiCaprio?
I think one would be ALO, #Neil from the North.
Neil from the North. Oh, my God. That was better than the when I went on a little bit of a TMD, Team Maryland, binge. Remember? And he called me, what was it, TMD for life? I think that's the
TMD
hashtag.
for life.
I think it was TMD, the number 4, LYFE.
Oh, and then we had Corey Doney that used to call you Uncle Neil. So that was that was fun.
So and that was
Corey
one of the
back
topics.
with the Lumberjacks this year?
No, he aged out.
He aged out. Yeah,
He
there's
aged
a lot.
out, so-
As we were just saying before we got on too. There's going to be a lot of new faces. I know we'll probably not get to every team and dissect everybody's roster, but it's going to be very interesting this year to see all the different turnover, Neil and Brittany, as far as all these teams. Last year, there was a lot of teams that had a lot of guys that were able to come back, and the Avalanche and the Rangers both had a lot of veteran guys, and a lot of them have, it's the way the process goes. You guys have done a great job of helping these kids move on and move into the collegiate ranks. So a lot of them playing in the D2 and D3 land, but it just seems like this year it's a totally new league. There's just a plethora of new guys on every roster.
And I talked about that with Josh Gresko from the podcast. Who did we feel most bad for when we had to cancel? It's that Avalanche Lumberjacks series last year that didn't happen. That would have featured 35 age outs. It was, those 2 teams were that old last year. They had that many veteran guys. And what's funny is a few of their commits each were 2000s, and those kids can come back at least if they want to start the year. So imagine being in college with one of your junior teammates from last year. He can go play juniors, but you can't, and you don't know when you're going to play, but he can go play technically, I guess, Friday, right? It's crazy to wrap your head around that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that was the nice thing about last year too, is being able to see the Logan Descanios and all those different type guys. We've seen them for the last few years, and it's actually a broadcaster's dream for us right now. As far as you look at some of these rosters, you're like, oh yeah, Descanio, Doney, Barry, a lot of these kids, you're like, yep, know those, know that name, know that number, boom, boom, boom. Now this year,
you ready for Friday? You ready for Friday?
It's gonna be a lot of line chart. Oh, this kid, yeah.
Thank God we have nice line charts in our league. Thank you. Shout out Mike Monty for those, because we're using those again this year. Honestly, the best system that we have. The thing for me, I just haven't had a second. This is one of those, I'm patting myself on the back. I've been so busy, but this scheduling. You
just got married, Neil. That's a big thing.
True.
I don't know. Look at that ring. I saw that earlier.
Whoa, Neil.
Weirdest thing in the world, right? You go through.
You're not a big jewelry guy.
No, you go through 20 plus years of your life, and you're like, I've never had a thing on my finger in my entire life. Now this thing doesn't come off. The day of, we were outside, so it got a little bit hot, and I was like, Vicky, this is a little tight.
Coming
she's
off.
like,
yeah, I know.
She's like, you're just sweating, and it's the anxiety, and I don't. Your finger is like a chicken sausage right now. It'll swell down, and then you can get it off. I was like, thank you for referring to my hand as a sausage, but yeah. So got married. We've had 1,000 scheduling changes, which I think is a good. We should go into our Around the E show, and I could break down what's going on in each of the different states right now.
It's time for this week's segment of Around the E Show.
And guys, Around the E Show is brought to you by the Junior Hockey Podcast, your home for junior hockey news, knowledge, and nonsense. Check them out at tjhpodcast.com.
So let's start breaking this down, because I did it a little bit on the podcast. At one point this summer, I would try and go to bed, and I could never stop thinking about the 9 different states in our league. So let's work down the footprint. You can chime in where you want to. Right now, the state of Maine, one team in our league, can host games with contact, but they can't host or welcome in teams from Massachusetts or Rhode Island. Rhode Island, we don't have any teams, obviously, but Massachusetts, they would have to either have a negative COVID test or quarantine for 14 days. Funny thing about Mass, that's 6 of our organizations, so that's a third of the EHL.
It's a tough hit.
It is very tough.
So that's Maine. Then you go to New Hampshire, which is like, it didn't hit me for a while, but like we're up to 3 teams in New Hampshire now. Like,
It's kind of crazy.
we have Seacoast, the Wolves, and the Avalanche, 2 of which, the Avalanche feel like they've been in the league forever, right? But they really, this is only their 4th year.
We used to have, well, obviously going back to the years, like back when you first began, we had the Cyclones, the Monarchs, but
And
the
the
Avs weren't around, and the Wolves.
Yeah,
So yeah, we've always
there were
only had 3. That's right.
But
Wow.
it's like a new 3 now,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And like what I tell everyone when I talk about New Hampshire is legit live free or die.
Ooh.
It's actually like you can strut into Market Basket. I say this because it's next to the den and I frequent the Market Basket there. You can strut into the grocery store with no mask, no nothing. You can just strut in, have a day, and leave. Like, my god!
We hiked a mountain the other day, I should say, when we were on our little mini moon. I didn't realize that there was a big term for that. Whatever. Anyways, we're hiking the mountain, and I'm like, Vicky, there is not a single person wearing a mask except for us.
Mhm.
Like, I understand you're outdoors, but at some point you do cross like near each other in this state. Like,
Yeah, remember we put our masks up in Colorado?
yes, we had to.
Right.
So
Yeah, if you're
that's-
around people, you're trying to be courteous. That's the rule right now, right? If you're around
Right.
people that you don't
God
know,
forbid.
put it up and then pull it down when you're not. Yeah, makes sense. I know New Hampshire is crazy. I actually already did a few games up in New Hampshire.
What rank?
Some of you guys might know the Seacoast rink, actually, the rinks
okay.
at Exeter. That was the Beantown Classic.
How was that?
August. It was great. Honestly, it was kind of strange just because, like you said before, Neil, there's a lot of guys that, have played for junior hockey programs that were there. They've committed to colleges, but as we all know, all Division I hockey, they did come out with a statement the other day saying there will be hockey for Division I. I don't know if Division II and Division III came out yet with the big announcements, but then each conference is going to make announcements after that as well. But it was great. So, I mean, there was a lot of kids there that we've seen over the years. Some of the EHL. Actually, there was a couple of EHL prospects. The 87s had a commit there. I forget who it was. And there might have been a Valley Junior Warrior, too, because I think I saw Coach McGrath there as well. But yeah,
you've called a game more recently than I have. So
in the
on
COVID
Friday-
time.
on Friday, Jeff, you can do the play-by-play. I'll do the color.
I'm salty about this.
I know,
It's
Brent,
fine.
what the heck? Can we get you to take a sick day for the kids of kindergarten? Can we just give them like, all right, guys, today A, B, and C, and I'll be back in a few hours.
You know what you do? I'm watching hockey TV.
I had a baseball
Oh.
coach. That used
I don't
to do
even
that
know if
growing
I
up.
can do that. We'll see. I don't know.
I used to have a baseball coach growing up. Quick aside, he used to go get gas and go do like other things. We would do BP, and everyone goes around like twice, and then he would come back, and hey, we'd all still be there, you know. So
Great.
just do one of those. It's not the best thing to do, especially now in 2020. But hey,
Yeah.
you know, if it means
It'll
we can
be
get
like-
you at the opening day, we'll get you at the opening day. Keep the
It do be
intact.
like that sometimes.
So that's Maine and New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Right
You're
now-
missing another northern place.
Okay, do you want to go around
Vermont?
Vermont and then down?
Yeah,
Let's
you can't
say we
just
don't-
go.
Oh, good.
I would have started with Vermont because Burlington, Vermont is more north than wherever Maine, Biddeford, Maine.
Brittany just loves the Letty Arena, so I
Well-
don't know.
I just love geography, and I think I just got Neil on that one. But
Well, I
guess.
started with Maine because I am.
I'm from Maine. Yeah,
From
we-
Maine.
Neil.
So,
Dude,
okay.
Neil can't go
The man from
on
Maine.
second without saying, I'm from Maine. We know Neil. Neil, we know. We're aware. Thank you.
All right,
So
Burlington.
Justin.
every new person, Neil's from Maine. We don't need to address it again. Okay, moving on.
Can't wait till Justin listens to this later.
The-
I know,
Justin Terry,
Justin's gonna
our
lose
lead
it.
graphics designer, for those of you that don't
Yes.
know.
He'll listen to it during the Lightning game. Anyways, the
Ay.
Lumberjacks can host games
Mm.
with contact, but you have to wear a face mask right now. But on top of that, if you're coming from Massachusetts, you have to be coming from a county that has a certain ratio or less of COVID cases per million. Like imagine that. My head like spins when I look at that.
It's
Like
too
Yeah.
much.
so
No.
Massachusetts can host games, but you have to wear a face mask on the face off, but not afterwards,
Yep.
which I think is weird because you have to then take your helmet off and take off the face mask. But you can't even check it all in mass, right?
Mhm. Which isn't going to happen. You can't change the game like that.
yes.
You can't.
Please, like, how you
Not
can
at this
one
age.
rule? How could you play one rule in one state and a different rule in a different state, right?
You can't.
So then you go to Connecticut and it's the same as New Hampshire, wide open free game.
Yep.
Oh
But then
yeah.
New York, you can't play games at all. Neither you can you do the same in New Jersey. So ProTech,
You can't play a game in Jersey.
not right now.
Oof. Yikes.
Yeah.
Sevens.
So-
But they can-
Sorry.
But
Mm.
you can relocate games. So the Ducks and the Apple Corps had a home and home series scheduled for what was supposed to be Saturday, Sunday. Now it's Monday, Tuesday at Sono. So
Oh.
the Ducks and Apple Corps are playing their games at the Rough Riders, but the Rough Riders aren't playing in
Nice.
those games.
Right. That's good. Nice.
Wow.
That makes a
So-
lot of sense.
Then 2 states left. Pennsylvania, as of today, can host games with
Mm.
checking.
Mhm.
5
Okay.
guys on the ice, 5 guys
Okay.
on the bench, 10 guys in the locker
Oh.
room.
That sounds like
Oh.
Denver.
I was talking
remember?
about-
Yes, remember Denver? That's exactly
Yeah,
what
that's
Denver
not-
was.
Ew. That
All right,
was
so tell me about
low-key-
Denver. Did they literally do line changes like from the locker room, like put a buzzer on a
Mm.
guy, and be like, all right, guys, come on, come out, come out. Like, how are you going to do? I've heard this,
I
but
Who
how are you
knows?
going to do that?
Who knows, right? And then Maryland, they can play games, but I think one of their rinks has the same county by county restrictions that Vermont has. But the guy who owns Team Maryland owns a number of other rinks, so he's going to try and play in like a few other ones that he has in that state. So what we need to happen is a few states need to just ease their restrictions just a little bit, because the biggest thing, like you just started to allude to, Jeff, is like if we're going to play our games, we have to play them by our rules. We
Right.
can't have a game on Friday where the Rangers play at the Avalanche, full checking junior hockey, and then say they played Saturday at home against whoever, and it almost looks like two-hand touch hockey. You know what I mean?
And it's just and the biggest thing what's one of the biggest things we always talk about, player safety. Like that's the number one issue I see is you're going to have kids like running full steam. You have 16 to 20-year-old kids, 16 to 21. Sorry, couldn't speak. Year-old kids that are fast as night, strong as oxes. You can't tell them to like fly into the corner and be like, oh, they've been playing the sport their whole life. Muscle memory says they're going to hit somebody, and then what? And you eject them, then they go get tested. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be a good product either. You can't change. I mean, I know
Ew,
they've done
I'll
this
be
with
so
soccer.
bored.
Have you guys seen what they've done with soccer? They changed like mass allowed soccer, but you can't head the ball, you can't slide
Oh
tackle.
yeah, yeah. My little brother plays soccer, and he was telling me it was like the first year he could check, and he was like fired up that check. He could head the ball, and he was fired up. He was like all excited about it, and now he can. He did.
And I just don't get. I mean,
Wow.
I get it. You want to get these kids back out there, and we want every state to be able to play hockey again, but not until it's like the right type of hockey and the right product, or else it's not going to be fun to watch, and it's not going to be safe, and it's just altogether just not going to be feasible.
And
Right.
like,
it's not it, Chief.
I've shout out
Brandon
Connecticut
Johnson.
Chiefs.
Shout out Brandon Johnson.
Like I've gotten so many emails. Where are the league's protocols? The USBHL came out with theirs. Where's yours? Where's the NAs? Where's the USHL? And it's like we can come out with stuff, but it's so much different from state to state that there's only so many things that we could say as a league that would apply to everyone. Right?
Right.
Wear a mask.
Mhm.
Okay, that's pretty set and standard. Wash your hands. When you're done in the
Right.
locker room, get out.
Yep.
Like-
No hanging around. I mean, that's
Like-
what they did. That's what they did up at the rinks at Exeter. Neil, was that everybody for that showcase? They got in. They wore their mask. All the players, which I will say, all the players were in masks. All the fans that were sitting in there, they had fans. Everybody was wearing masks and staying in their own little areas. They had a guy come in. I don't know if I don't know if he's from. I think I recognized him actually. I don't know if he works for the Spartans or not. I didn't have Trider's number on me. I was going to text him, but he came in with one of these like Mister type things.
Oh, it definitely was.
sure
Oh
you
my
guys
god!
have
Imagine Brett Trider misting.
I can see him like, hey, what's up? But he was like doing that to all the different handles and everything. So it was. I felt safe. I mean, then and that's just how we're going to have to do it until, like you said, hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody keeps masking up and things get better, and then a couple of months, things will start to get better. And you're seeing it. Like you said, the USPHL, they're doing the same thing as the HL. I can say, because I work for some of those teams, they're playing everything up in New Hampshire. They're going to lean on their New Hampshire teams in the NCDC, and they're going to host all the games for the first 2 months, just like we're doing here. Guys are going to play in New Hampshire, Connecticut, and then hopefully in 2 months we can, Mass, Philly, all those areas we can play full puck again.
I've been getting like a few texts about shooting for photographers, the Frozen Finals, or like guys that want to potentially help call it. And it's like, listen, I love our finals as much as the next guy, but not as much as Brittany. So like, I can't talk.
I just like my outfits.
I can't talk about the Frozen Finals.
No, wait
for a while.
Wait,
We're
that
trying
gives
to go.
me a headache.
We're trying to. We're gonna have to literally. This season is gonna be month by month. Me and Brittany can attest, Neil. You are a big planner, and that's why you're good at your job. You like to plan things out like a year in advance. Like last year's Frozen Finals, you're like, Jeff, all right, so the dates you text both of us like 2 days later, like, hey, so next March on,
Literally
19, oh, okay, I'll put it in my calendar. It's going to be hard for you, my friend. It's going to be very hard.
Because what's funny is, like, I shouldn't say funny, but like we had a big Board of Governors call here. All the days blend together for me over the summer. Like sometime in August we had it, and then I had to reach back out to all the teams and say, these games in September and October are good. These games either have to be moved to different locations or rescheduled, and it's just like I hate having to make those changes because in my mind, I feel like someone's looking at that and saying like, God, the EHL can't keep things straight. But I know what work we're doing behind the scenes because we want to have these games. These kids are here. Like they're
right,
training.
everyone's there.
Like
right.
You see everybody's practice videos. I've seen the Avs practicing, the Wolves. Hi, Mrs. Raven. Just
Hey, Vicky.
She can't hear it with the headphones on.
Vicky Raven. She started chasing on Facebook too. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh,
there she is.
Oh yes, hi Queen.
So what's funny is like I had so many people say to me, "Why would you get married September 12th and then start the season September 18th?" Well, in a normal year, like I wouldn't have had all this other stuff going on, trying to figure out schedules and stuff like that. But it's worked out fine. And
it was like your wedding, your first of two, because you're doing the other bigger one next year when, fingers crossed, everything will be back to normal. We can all hang out and have drinks and not wear masks, and it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, we're not going to go through the guest list and what EHL personnel are coming.
Oh,
because
no.
there are going to be some that are definitely bitter because
that'll be a fun episode though.
Yes, I think we're at 12 or 13 couples now. Ooh. Like including you two. So
I was gonna say, won't say
that's a good like 30 plus people from the league. So like
nice.
That's awesome. Wow. Oh god, this is gonna be. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, I wish us the best on that day.
You know who can't
Facebook reminded me and my girlfriend the other day of your wedding, by the way. It was very sad. Me and Christina both woke up and we were like, oh, we both got the notification. It was like, Neil and Vicky's wedding. We are like, no, not today. That's the one that we're not going to in June.
So we were happy that we still got to have like a small ceremony with her family and stuff. And it was good. It
looked awesome.
It was perfect, for the occasion, and got away for a few nights. Opened up my email, saw like 15 messages each day about this and that, and whatever. And we're playing catch up now, and we're good.
Cue Niels Ajda in 3, 2, 1. When you saw those emails, I'm sure you were like, oh.
I was like, Vicky, I may be up until midnight or 1 a.m. one night. You could just wake up and do it, like kind of whatever.
She's been around for a long time. She knows the drill by now.
Well, I think I told you what she calls me, right? You've seen Fever Pitch, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, winter guy is about to activate, is what she says.
That's perfect.
I'm like, well,
True.
it's hockey season, so
I hate when I don't get the reference.
Grant, go watch
Fever
Fever
Pitch.
Pitch tonight.
Fever Pitch. It's Jimmy
Have you
Fallon,
seen-
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Jimmy
before
Fallon and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, before he became like huge.
Mhm.
He's a huge Red Sox fan. Season tickets, and it's back in 2004 when they reversed the curse. And she refers to him as summer guy and winter guy because summer guy is in a great mood. The Red Sox are playing, like everything's always perfect. And no, summer guy was more into baseball, is what it was.
Right. I do
Red Sox,
get
yeah.
the
And then
point.
winter guy was more into her, is what it was. Or something like it's basically
Oh.
the comparison. And I said to Vicky, I go, really, if you look at Neil Ravin in 2020, winter guy is really into hockey. Summer guy was really into golf this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, I played 60 rounds ago.
rounds! Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
It wasn't
Dude,
good.
I played golf. I think I played 2 rounds of golf this whole summer. I'm actually going Saturday with some friends, though. Neil, maybe we can sneak one more time.
Yes.
There's still like a good month or so.
Dude,
We gotta.
Jeff, the best was when I came out with a new driver, right?
Oh, my God. I literally would like to jump off my roof right now.
I can see Neil coming out like, oh yeah, look at this big. Oh my God, you're like a kid on Christmas morning, like here it comes.
And she's
Yeah,
like,
thanks Uncle COVID for screwing
Yeah.
that up. I couldn't go to New Hampshire and play with you because I'm from out of state. So
yes, right?
So,
Boo. How much was that
is
driver?
this year over yet?
The driver's value was
Oh,
$500, but
Dude.
I
Got a
had
first
I had a few discounts and some like prize money, so I got it for $200.
There we go.
That's a good
Excellent.
deal.
That's a great deal for a driver. Oof.
Yeah,
Should we-
yeah.
Should we
mhm.
keep talking
Right.
about deals for the hockey players
No.
at home? Hoser Hockey,
Hoser
new,
hockey.
new partner this year. Use
They had a team at BOB.
Yep. Use code EHL2020 for discounts off hockey tape and laces and all those accessories that you love.
Nice.
So
Like it.
I think that's helped me a lot too this summer. We like in years past, I've had more trouble finding like partners for the league. I've got to announce a lot of partners this summer. Like it didn't hit me until I announced 3 in 3 days the other day. But like, obviously Hockey TV has been with us the entire time. Penalty Box Foundation is the new sponsor for this podcast. Instat, Dangle Sauce, Bertucci's Next Level, the Junior Hockey Podcast, Vaughn and Verbera. Like there's a lot of
Elite Junior Profiles.
there's a lot of companies that reached out, like pandemic or not. Like I don't know. I'm not trying to like pump our own tires, but we're going to our 8th season. Like people are starting to like notice who we are now. Is what it feels like.
Yep.
And like for us 3, this is episode 37. Like how did we
Wow.
get to 37?
Well, we
That's
missed
kinda
You did a
crazy.
bunch of solos, right?
Yeah,
How many do you think?
I did 18 solo. I did about
18
20
solos.
solo. I did all 18 Team of the Week features and a couple special interviews. Like the Verbera one, you should listen to that one, Jeff. You like that because that was Andy Sutton who owns Verbera.
Oh, yeah.
Who played in the NHL.
Played in the Islanders for a
He
long.
told-
He was on the
he told-
Islanders when I went to Hofstra.
Crazy stories. He had
Wow.
14 surgeries. He's had 14 surgeries.
Yeah.
I haven't had one. Like I would have no idea what it's like to get cut open and wake up and be like, oh, that looks different.
And what episode was that? I will definitely listen to that. He was a big bastard. He was a
He's
big
6'6".
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
I'm
remember
sitting,
him.
I'm sitting in my hotel chair doing the interview. He's like, yeah, I have to stand. I'm in the garage. It's the only place where I can have my desk. I was like,
Oh my
what?
God. Dude,
That's
he
like
was.
that's like some Keith Primo type.
yes.
Yeah,
Status.
he's like Keith's size. He is. I remember when he was in the Islanders because I went to Hofstra at that time when Andy Sutton was on those horrible ending Islanders team. Then he went to the Thrashers. Atlanta
With
Thrashers.
Freddie.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Atlanta
He played
Thrashers.
for
Freddie Meyer. He did. Yep.
He referenced Freddie on the podcast because
Go Thrash, go.
Freddie, no longer the coach of the Wizards. It's now Corey Felitti. Can't blame Freddie, though, for the move that he made going to Rivers. And he's now the assistant AD and the hockey coach. And when you work at a prep school, your kids can go to prep school for free. Like, it's a
He's got
decision that
couple
you
of
had to
those.
make,
Yep.
right?
Oh yeah.
But
That's-
Freddie never appeared on the podcast.
Oof. That
we
doesn't
need-
shock
can-
me
can
whatsoever.
We get him. We need to get
Like,
him this
that's-
year though. We can still work him in, right?
If you guys get Freddie on the podcast, I'll Venmo you each $100 because that odds are
Ooh.
No,
I'm
that
in.
won't happen. Freddie's not going on this thing.
I think we could.
Corey did come on though.
Right.
And-
That's not shocking.
We could get Freddie to come on and survey, give us a little overlook of his old team, look at his old friend and coach. You could do it. What do you think about the Wizards, Fred?
Well, off of that, since this is the Around the E Show segment, I sent you our preseason power rankings.
Oh.
Thoughts, questions, concerns?
Concerns? Thoughts?
Well,
I
PJR,
kind of like
87s. Or do you want to say them in order? Or
Brittany, do the honors.
Here we go.
At number 1, we have the Boston Junior Rangers and Rich DiCaprio. 2, I'll say the correct name, not the name I use. The New Jersey 87s, I'll say the 7s. Just cut out everything else besides the 7 apostrophe S. 3, the New Hampshire Avalanche. 4, the Vermont Lumberjacks. And 5, Walpole Express.
Ooh.
And he
I know someone played a lot of golf with Cody Campbell over the summer.
Right. Okay, so Cody bragged Neil to put him in the power rankings. Okay.
Walpole was a heat-seeking missile at the end of last year.
Cody, we're on to you, pal.
Year. Yeah, we're watching you, Codester.
Dude, Codester's gonna be.
That's
a
pretty good one, though. That's a pretty good one. I don't think he bribed his way in by any means.
No, he didn't. I was only joking, Cody.
Yes, but
don't give me a left hook when I see you.
The preseason power rankings, it's like I kind of had to go off based off of last year. It would have helped if we had finished last year, but that's where I think guys were when we did finish, right? The Rangers were still the favorite. 87s were also the 1 seed. Avalanche 2, Lumberjacks with 3. Walpole was actually down at 5. But I think I'm good with this to start. Obviously, we have a Rangers-Avalanche matchup right out of the gates. So
we're starting hot.
Avalanche could flip things up just like that. But, Jeff, you want to give us the EHLP power rankings as well?
Yes, sir. Number 1. Oh, look at that. Another familiar team. The Boston Junior Rangers, 34-6-2 last year. And something you're going to notice when we drop the puck Friday, a lot of the EHLP kids from last year on this EHL team. And Rich said that. That's the beautiful thing about – I love seeing that, seeing the development of kids going from P to the E and then on to college. So job well done there. So the Junior Rangers, number 1. Number 2, another familiar name we just heard about, the New Jersey 87s, or the 7s as Britt likes to call them, 32-6-3 last year. Then we have number 3, the Philadelphia Little Flyers. So
shout out ALO, PLO.
So news to me. So we lost the EHL Little Flyers, correct?
No, that's junior, dude.
Oh, that's the junior Flyers. Yeah.
No more confusing 2 Flyers teams. There you go, Jeff.
Right, come on. You thought we still had Jerry? That would be iconic.
I know. He lost Jerry.
Unfortunately, Jerry's World has exited the chat.
Oh, well.
And then number 4, New Hampshire Avalanche.
Yes.
32-1 to finish that up.
Before I mentioned that ALO wants me to create an EHL Hall of Fame now, and the first inductee would be Jerry
Domish.
Absolutely. I think everyone would agree with that. I'm going to miss seeing Jerry this year.
Oh, absolutely.
And that
great
was
to have the new teams, but losing the Revolution and the Junior Flyers, those are 2 teams that we've all – I mean, I've called all their games since the year before you came in.
About it.
I think I started in 2013. You came into the league in 14, Neil? Was that right? 2014?
15. League started in 13. I came in the third year. Sorry,
so
league started in 13. Wow.
13?
League
14?
started in 13. They did 13,
okay.
14. I came in 15. Let's count. Here we go. Keep going, Brittany. 15, 16, 17,
kindergarten math.
19, 20. This is my 6th year.
Woo! This is my 4th. Me and the Avalanche have the same birthday.
I still remember.
I
don't know if teams have birth dates, but
well, we do now.
You also did have purple hair your first couple of days in the EHL.
Okay, everybody listening up. Listen up. No.
You
listen
did?
up.
I don't remember that, Brett.
No, listen.
I remember meeting you in Walpole.
Jeff, it should have been a red flag for me. Like, it should have been an immediate red flag. She's got purple hair.
Okay, people, my
There's
hair.
a Bridgewater State student at the time.
No, I'm looking at a purple flower in my sunroom right now. My hair was black with a purple hue to it. My hair was not electric purple, like, here we go, Barney.
Like
no.
your shirt.
Like,
Right. Oh, I forgot I was wearing purple.
Hey, there
Yeah,
you go.
my hair didn't look like this. It was black with a little bit of purple. Let's not get it like out of control.
Here we go, Barney.
Barney Britt.
Jeff, it's amazing. It's amazing what we get to on this podcast.
I love it though. We gotta give
cover.
we gotta have entertainment.
I have
We gotta
had every
entertain
hair
too.
color while working in this league. Like
You gotta have
everyone.
a little bit of entertainment. Brittany brings that for us. She keeps us.
Blonde Brit is supreme.
Brittany's the youngest of us three.
Meanwhile,
Nah.
Jeff, right before the wedding, Vicky's looking at my head, and she pulls out a hair.
Oh,
And she goes, "That's gray." I was like,
Ew, Neil, you old
no.
man.
I was like, "Oh God, it's tough."
Now you just turned 30 this year, right?
I turned 30 in February.
Yeah. And I'm gonna turn 31 in like 10 days. So, oof.
I'm just turning like 19 in
Woof.
2 months.
And Britt's when's your birthday, Britt?
November
There's no
13th.
birthday
all right.
showcase for her this year.
No, there's no
Unfortunately,
birthday showcase for me.
Ah,
Heated about
poo.
it.
That was tough because
Ooh.
if we can't play games in Mass right now, how can we even envision
Can't do
playing a
showcases.
showcase? So
Right.
we have the 2 big showcases in December and January. December in Newington, January
Yes.
Exeter. The new EHL All-Star Classic.
That's end November, so
That's
that's
in
still
November.
like a showcase. I can
Okay,
say-
so we will be
that's like a
celebrating
showcase
my
on roids.
right. We're gonna celebrate my 19th because that's how old I'm turning, obviously. Right?
Turning 25, I think.
Nope. I don't know who that is. No,
She's
not me.
turning 25.
Is it 25 or 26?
I think it's 25.
For real though.
Literally, I'm not 25 yet. Like, I know I'm an artifact and all, but like,
So
let's
that's
not
25.
pre-age me like 2 months.
But you're turning.
You're turning 25.
No, I'm turning 19. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just trying to confirm the health insurance thing. So you're 25 or 26?
Right now I'm 24.
Okay,
So
so
she's
you
going
have
to be
another
25.
year of
Woo!
health insurance.
Yay!
Right.
Okay.
Thanks, Nina.
But you can rent a car, so next time we go to Denver, it's on you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you,
Oh,
though.
Britt's just gonna drive cross country in her little
Dude,
bad
I can
boy.
barely drive like my Chevy Cruze, let alone anything else.
That's another entertaining topic we'll keep all season long. Brittany's car, the Chevy Cruze that we had to try to jump last year, and then
And with all that talk about Brittany's Chevy Cruze, let's transition into what to watch for.
Before we wrap things up, here's what to watch for this week in the E-Show.
And we're continuing with our fantasy from last year. So it's time for the E-Crew Fantasy Challenge, brought to you by Bertucci's Brick Oven Pizza and Pasta, your home for authentic Italian dishes, catering, and group dining. Check out their party pizzas and specials at bertuccis.com.
And before we start the fantasy, one big addition to this year's fantasy is we're no longer just a 3-horse race. There's now 4 of us. A big announcement that I got to make earlier this week with our partnership through Hockey Night in Boston. The league now has its first ever beat writer. So let's welcome on the E-Show for the first time, Kyle McKenna. Welcome to the E-Show, Kyle.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on, and I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. And more importantly, I'm just excited to be back and a part of the league. And I got to say, Neil, as a guy who spent a lot of time at the racetrack this summer, I do appreciate the horse reference too.
Well, what's great is like it actually was more of like a appetizer first taste at fantasy for us last year, right? Because we started doing the podcast and then we like didn't really do fantasy in the beginning, and then we just jumped right in. And not a shot at you, Brittany, but
Oh, here we go. We're already starting.
oh boy.
Oh,
Here
my
we go.
God.
it became a little bit of a 2-horse race. There was one really good week in there for you.
You're
Yep.
right. I think that was my all Avalanche team, just to know. But I could be mistaken.
We may have padded a few stats during that time as well, but
Okay,
it's
we
whatever.
literally did it. We literally did not. I'm not. Nope. No.
You cheaters, and I still beat both of you. Thank God.
Yes.
Ugh,
Jeff
Shut up.
had things work out perfectly down the stretch with Tobias Falkenstadt, probably
Oh, the
Here's-
Falcon.
fantasy MVP, on the way to winning the first season of the fantasy. So now we bring in Kyle, and there's 4 of us this year. So just to recap for the fans at
No.
home, no, I'm not talking about the points anymore. We are turning
Done
the
is done, Britt.
Everyone has 0.
we're
Yep,
turning the
that's
page
correct.
to the new year. So to
Yep.
recap how this works is
Oh.
you go based off of where you finished the previous week. not where you're at in the standings. So we're saying where you finished the previous year. So Brittany will pick first, then Kyle, then myself, then Jeff. After the first week, you then go 1 week at a time. What's tough for us to start the year is I wanted to give us all a chance to pick from every team and give every team a chance to play a game. With that being the case, we got to go from September 18th to September 30th. So it's kind of like 2 weeks, if you will. But that's
like the beginning of fantasy with other sports, Neil. That's what like baseball and hockey. You kind of take the beginning of the season's a little light. It's all good.
And a goal is 3 points. Assists, 2 points. Power play point is a point. Shorthanded, 2 points. Game-winning goal, a point. And then the goalies, 4 points for a win, minus a point for a goal against. For every save, you get 0.2 points, and a shutout, 2 full points. The key, which helped Jeff definitely down the stretch, were the bonus points, where we already mentioned our preseason power rankings there. What you do against a top 5 team earns you bonus points. So if you score that game-winning goal against a top 5 team, that's 2. A goalie victory against a top 5 team, that's 1. And then a shutout against a top 5 team is 3. So all things to keep in mind when you're picking your players. And let's transition into Brittany's picks because obviously, like I said, we're going from September 18th to September 30th with these picks. It's a lot of time and a lot of players who we really just don't even know.
I know. Okay, so I with my forward, are we just going into it? Like, are we starting?
Go right into it.
Okay. With my forward, I almost was like a little risky and picked one of the Avs kids that I saw at Battle of Boston that I liked. But then I was like, wait, I've never seen you play an EHL game. This is different than Battle of Boston. Let's just not. We'll save it. So instead, I picked member of the EHL All-Star team, Tim DeBoard from Roll Sevens. Next up. I couldn't not. Sorry. Then my defenseman, Kyle, I said I was sorry, but I don't know if I'm sorry anymore, but it's fine. And that would be
sorry there.
I did.
How did I handle the time management last night in the clock? Did I take a while or?
You did a hell of a lot better than Brittany did.
I think you did a very appropriate job,
dude.
Kyle.
I did a
I mean, being a rookie, I don't know. It's like I'm like a rookie. I don't know any better.
No, you did fine. Listen, fans, I took so long because I was in the middle of a soul cycle class, so I told Neely need to chill. But anyways, going back to I can't. So I picked Christian Hallbig, which he did play for the Rev last year. RIP the Rev. I was a big Rev gal, so I'm a little upset. So had to take him. He's now in the Avalanche for anyone who is unaware. And then at the goalie position, I took the GOAT of Cape Cod. That's what I called him. I text messaged.
GOAT of Cape Cod. That was a good one. I like that.
Who would be Tristan Hadley of the Seahawks. Bill, I hope you live for that one. But yeah, that's who I picked. 3 people who I have seen in the past. I'll go risky next week, but those are my picks. Moving on.
So when she picks Tristan Hadley, the only thing I can think of is
when I picked him last year.
And I had a Wizards forward. I think it may have been Chance Gorman. And Gorman is scoring on Hadley. I'm calling the game, and I'm fist pumping in the corner. I'm like, woo, let's go with these
and
points.
I'm just heated. So Tristan Hadley, you may have screwed me over last year, but buddy, not again.
See, and that was the fun thing. We all logged in the box scores, and we all be texting each other, and it'd be like, "Oh, the Falcon got 48 saves today. Sorry, you guys.
That's right.
He beat the top 5 team. Woo!"
Just wait for Chris Cirella's stat change. We'll get more points then.
I'd literally be licking my chops every time we logged onto a box score. We'd all be texting, no. So-and-so gave up 8 goals. Sorry, Brett.
Brittany, I hope for you that you picked first this week, but I hope the next time you don't have to pick first.
Here we go.
Neil, that's the nicest thing Neil said to me in 2020. It only took us 9 months.
So, Kyle, it's your turn now for your first set of picks in the EQ Fantasy.
Well, I'm going to go up Mike's and down Jake's where they make molasses cakes, and I'm going to start in blue paint with Mason Palmer, Walpole Express.
Ooh.
He's a rookie for the EHL, but he's definitely a veteran with the junior hockey experience. Definitely most impressed with his save percentage over the years in the USPHL, the WSHL, the NAPHL. So think Walpole is coming off of another successful year. I trust that organization, and I've got a good feeling about Mason Palmer between the pipes. On the blue line, I'm going to take a defenseman from the Connecticut Rough Riders. This is a returning player, James Gregory. I don't know if anyone picked him last year, but I'm confident about James Gregory. He had a hot start last year. His first 3 games, he had multi-point efforts. I'm impressed with the fact that he had, he had 2 goals. It's not wowing, but 18 assists, 7 of those assists on the power play. So I'm going to trust James Gregory on the special teams department, and especially as a returning player, 6'3". Didn't get to see him play too much last year, only had a couple showcases, but I'm confident with him. And then I know I'm probably going to get chirped hard for this one by you 3, even though I'm still a rookie at this. I had to go with some familiarity, and I'm going to take Braden Patricia, a former Revolution skater who I saw for majority of the season last year, a very dynamic player. He is now with the ProTech Ducks. He's going to be my forward.
And 2 big points to bring up with Kyle's picks for both Patricia and for Gregory. Both of those guys are 2000s who committed, but can come back and play this year. So you can't blame them, right? They what are you going to do? Sit around your college room and wait and hope that your team gets the chance, or get a chance to play? And I can't blame them. They still have the chance. Patricia is a Fitchburg State commit, and Gregory's a Manhattanville commit, so they still can go there if they wanted to in January or next fall, or if they get the interest, they could, decommit from those schools and go somewhere else. So if I was a 2000, I think I would probably do the same thing, just so I could at least play.
I would too. You don't want to get rusty. That's the thing. I mean, these kids have been playing hockey their whole entire lives since they were little kids. And, I mean, the NHL guys just said this when they came back in the bubble. This was the longest time that any of those guys have gone without skating in their entire lives. They don't go 4 or 5 months without skating. So you need to – I totally respect that and think that's a smart move by these young guys. Patricia was, like we said, one of the only guys I looked and I was like, hey, there's Braden. I remember him. Everyone else in this league, there's a lot of new names and faces that we're going to be getting accustomed to. But that's the exciting part too.
Yeah. I did get one email. Why isn't the EHL creating a bubble like Toronto where everyone stays in the same location and gets tested every night?
Neil? Come on.
Right.
Well, the testing.
We're millionaires. That's crazy.
I was say it's going to be cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
The testing in the NHL costs $25 million.
Mike Sorabella, are you ready?
Mil.
Are you ready? Maurice, our treasurer, are you ready to cut the checks?
Sign here, sign here, sign here. So
sure, 25 mil sounds good.
I do feel confident about our protocols, but we'll transition now into my picks. I don't even know if I should be announcing the goalie. I think Jeff should be announcing who my goalie is.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I don't even remember who you picked.
I picked the goalie. I picked the goalie from Vermont.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Jeff. 1, 2, 3.
David Raduzzi.
I think my headphones cracked there for a second.
Me too.
I do have to ask you guys one question now.
What?
Obviously, if you pick a goalie and they play another goalie, we helped each other out the first week a little bit behind the scenes for Jeff and for Kyle. Yeah. And I know Britt texted.
I texted Bill, but I didn't mention him. I didn't mention this at all.
That's not totally my point. My point is more, it's if Raduzzi doesn't play and another goalie plays, that's my fault. I don't get the points. If the team can't play at all because of a COVID shutdown of some sort.
You should be able to switch. Is that
a unanimous feeling across the board?
Yes, I vote yes. Kyle, do you vote yes?
Kyle?
I vote yes.
Okay, great.
There we go. 3 votes.
Okay. Oh, we got 3 votes. On to Hollywood we go.
Woo! I bring that up because as of today,
what?
2 games that fall in the window for Raduzzi and Vermont are against Worcester. And based off last week's COVID cases, the ratio in Worcester, those games can't happen. That can change as of Tuesday, which means I'm fine, but we'll keep you guys all in the loop on that one. But Raduzzi in goal, a name that Jeff already mentioned earlier in this podcast at some point. We've been on for about 2.5 hours, it feels like. But Declan House is back in the league, wasn't in the league last year. Was playing in Canada last year. That's a whole.
Oh, he did.
Dude, I
And he
was
was in
like,
the
why
Wolves
do I know
before.
who this kid
Yeah.
is?
I remember him. So he was from
Good
2
Irish
years
name.
ago.
Oh.
Yes, and
Gotcha.
Right.
his dad's gonna definitely listen to this. He's a big Twitter guy, big media guy. He
I
was
was
one
gonna
of the
say, I
guys
remember the
that
dad.
responded to Kyle's tweet last night. Not even Declan. Declan's dad responded to the tweet. Declan's a great player. He's a lot bigger than he was a few years ago also. And obviously one of the biggest topics of conversation for a different day is he could not get into Canada. So,
Right.
that's a whole different junior hockey conversation. But
Yeah, they don't want us right now.
Oh, Declan House.
Unless
It's
you're an
coming
NHL
back
player.
To me.
anyways,
Yeah,
my
unless you're an NHL.
forward, the rookie of the year from last year, Dante Terramani.
Ooh.
So-
Hey, it's a battle of the sevens, boys.
Oh,
Here we go.
Anyways,
Oh,
Jeff,
I'm ready to go.
reigning
Yes.
champ. Let's close out the week 1 picks.
Ba, 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 ba. So I had to
Oh my god.
I kind of went with a little bit of what Kyle was saying, a little bit of familiarity with the forward. I liked this kid a lot last year. Played for the Chiefs and then was a trade at the trade deadline over to the Avalanche. Ryan Malco. I actually remember calling one of his Chiefs games, and he had 4 goals in one of the showcase games that I called.
Is that good?
That good?
Is that
Oh,
good?
shut up, Neil. I said it first. Don't steal
Is that
my
good for the
saying.
brand, Britt? Is that good for the brand? I think it's
I
good.
haven't said that in so long, so I can't wait to annoy the crap out of all of you with that. So
Good pause.
Woohoo!
Keep going, Jeff.
Yeah, Malco's – I like Malco.
no
He's a
swearing.
good-sized kid, left shot, 6'1", 175 pounds. He had 15 goals for the Chiefs and then went over to play for Coach Sorella and was almost a point-per-game player. He had 14 points in 17 games, 8 goals, 6 assists. Does a little bit of damage on the power play, so we're hoping that he can get me some power play goals and power play assists. And then on the back end, I actually poor timing. I wish I'd whipped it out. The
Where's your Wolves gear?
Where's my Wolves jersey? I got my Wolves jersey. Thanks, Coach Tribble. He sent me one after we did a pod last year. He always was a big listener of ours, and we're excited
He's
to have
so
the
loyal.
Wolves back. And we're gonna do with Kevin Bite. We're gonna do a wolf bite on the back end there, Brett. He's been on the Wolves for a couple of years now, and 8 goals, 7 assists back in the 18 season. Only 1 goal last year, but did have 14 apples. So we're hoping for. He has been a big power play contributor, almost a half a point a game on the power play in his 80 games in the EHL. So we're going to hope that Kevin Bite can get me some points there. And then lastly, but not least, between the pipes, we got Jonathan, a.k.a. Johnny Kopak, who was a New Jersey 87 last year. Good goals against. So that's what I'm leaning on. And I know Coach Hooley reported to you. I didn't want to bother him, so I had you reach out instead. That he should be playing one of their 3 games at least, but maybe if he gets the hot hand, maybe he plays 2 out of those 3 in the first couple of weeks. But his goals against last year, just over 2.16, and 2.14 in the last 2 years for the EHL. So he's got 30 games of EHL experience. We're going to go with that because this is a league of all new guys, and we don't know who the heck is going to be doing what. And that's the way we're going to roll and hope for some luck here in week 1.
That's the best part about this start is I
very
have
even.
no idea how we're going to do.
Now
We don't know
I
how
kind of
these
wish I
guys look.
no,
Who was
actually,
good in
never mind.
training camp? Who wasn't? Who's coming in? In great shape? Who isn't? How are these
So,
teams going to
We
deal with
should
all
have
this
hacked
stuff?
Live Barn.
Oh, my God. No, not
Oh,
Live
man.
Barn because we don't have a partnership with Live Barn.
That's why we're hacking it.
But when we come on next week, we'll be able to kind of give a mid-week 1 recap of where we're at because obviously these picks go from the 18th to the 30th. Another big part of Bertucci sponsoring this, they're giving me discount codes to give to the top fantasy performer of each week. So we just picked 12 guys right there. The guy that performs the best of those 12 will get a Bertucci's discount code, and I'm sure they will probably
Nice.
burn through
that's
it
dope.
all in one sitting with all of their roommates. They'll
Yep.
DoorDash or what Postmates or whatever, and it'll be there immediately, and they'll burn through it. But hey, it's another one of those partnerships that came together here towards the end of the summer that I'm excited about. It's
Some
just
of the best rolls in the business, Neil. Can't go wrong with the Bertucci's hot roll out of the brick oven with some butter.
Yes,
Delicious.
exactly. So
Perfect right after a big hour-long practice. You get a carb up. Carb up, baby. Carb up.
I'm excited though because this is coming out tomorrow, Thursday. Friday, we start games. We got a season preview that we're going to post for Kyle on Friday. Brittany's working on a video that we're going to post on Friday. Jeff and I are calling a game on Friday. Like, hockey is back. Like, you know,
Yes.
I went into a small season of depression throughout the month of April. It got better with golf, of course it did, but now it's like even like we're like peaking right now with hockey coming back. I'm
You
pretty
hear Neil's voice and you can read his.
Oh my God.
as long as
love
there's
it.
no crazy things that happen during the year. As Jeff was saying on this podcast, the hope is that as the year goes on, hopefully restrictions can start to ease a little bit and we can play in some of those states that aren't allowing us to right now. But regardless of that, we have a huge slate of games still coming up here in September, 17 games in the EHL. The EHLP total is a little bit kind of wishy-washy with a lot of things moving on, but both leagues, both divisions are starting up, and the E-Show is back, so I'm pretty pumped.
The
Me too.
E-Show is back.
So
Getting
thank
energy
you
off of your
guys.
energy, Neil.
I'm trying to,
buddy.
man. I'm trying to. So thank you guys for coming on. Welcome to the E-Show, or welcome back to the E-Show, Kyle, I should say. And
Yeah.
I'll talk to you all next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Neil.
Thanks, guys.
Adios.
Kyle,
We're
thanks for
excited.
coming on, Kyle.
Thanks for listening to The E-Show. Learn more at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when next week's podcast is released.